Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Project Ozone. So, since last episode I've been doing a lot in space. That's been my main focal point, is our projects that we're working on within space. First off, we are on the space station right now, in the oxygen sealer and collector room that we worked on last episode, and I've went through and I've cleaned it up. I've added additional oxygen collectors, additional sealers to make sure that this area is all sealed. I will say this, it's not totally done yet. I will be building up and down on it. But we've got this floor pretty well squared away, minus adding things and, little things like that. But anyways, I also added these borderless glass panes to our ceiling list. So now this area behind me, or behind the glass here, the wheat, is sealed, so I don't have to worry about sealing, oxygen sealing that area or that area. So it kind of cuts down on the amount of sealing that is necessary to seal up the entire space station. So very, very handy. And then if we step through here, first off on the left, our teleporter is over here, and I moved our NASA workbench up here. So that, now we can just have our NASA stuff here and build here and that kind of stuff. I think it's actually kind of nice having it here as opposed to in the overworld. And then over here are cobblestones. Oh, I forgot to do facades on this side. That's okay, I'll do that later. Our entire cobblestone setup is here, and it's connected to a tesseract that feeds the octuple compressed. We're up to 48. This is producing octuple compressed at a fairly good rate. And if we take a look, you can see that octuple is within our system. So it's set up the same way. All of it feeds into here and then goes to here and then so on. The one in the overworld is all torn down now. So, we have that space to put something else. And it kind of cuts down on a bit of the FPS lag and stuff in our overworld area. Now the area that I'm probably the most happy with so far, and we're going to keep adding on to this, is outside. So if we step through here, through our airlock doors, you can see that we have this nice setup. I am going to continue building it out. This is just kind of temporary, I think. Because what I want to do is, this is basically going to be, this is our active launch pad spot. So we've got our fuel loader here. It's got energy that comes in through the bottom, and then it's also got that ender tank that feeds it fuel. So fuel comes in through there and keeps this, if I could ever stop, keeps our fuel loader filled with fuel and power. And so anytime we set a rocket here, it automatically, it's going to fill it up. It's going to get it ready for launch. And then I'm also going to use this area kind of like as a decorative rocket ship graveyard. Because whenever you build the later rockets, if we take a look, for example, at the Tier 2, you can see that the Tier 2 does not require the Tier 1. So eventually we're going to have 10 rockets, right? So I'm just going to have, I think what I'm going to end up doing is do 4 on this side, 4 on that side, 1 in the back, and then we'll have our actual active launch pad that'll have our Tier 10, our top tier rocket. So we'll definitely be nice, and I think it'll look good once all the rockets are put out and everything. So, like I said, I still got to build this out, but I wasn't in any rush because it's still a while before we're going to need it. So if I can ever go down. And exterior-wise, I'm not done with this place, to say the least. There's still conduits on the bottom and stuff like that. But like I said, we're going to build up and we're going to build down on it. So it's not totally finalized just yet. Sorry about all that noise. There's not really anything I can do about it over there. But it's nice having it in space so that we don't have to listen to it. Right? But anyways, before we go to the moon and check out what I've done over there, I did craft a couple things that we're going to use real quick to kind of finalize some things that I've been working on the space station. So first off, I made an oxygen bubble distributor. This is crafted with compressed steel, oxygen fan, aluminum oxygen vent. It's actually not terribly expensive, and it works in a similar way as the oxygen sealers do. So where these take oxygen and power to seal up an area that's enclosed, right? You have to have it enclosed. You can't have it open to space at all. The bubble distributor is kind of like almost like a spot sealer. So if we come out here, I've actually got wires ran out. And hopefully, okay, I'm not going to float off here. I've got power lines ran right here, and then oxygen pipes connected back to our oxygen system. And so we're just going to put this down. Let me grab my wrench because I'm probably going to need to rotate it. But we're going to put our bubble distributor down right here. We'll just rotate it so it connects up to the oxygen pipe and the energy pipe. Not enough power, really? Okay, so I've noticed that sometimes my tesseracts like mess up here. It's strange because the fuel loader is getting power, but the bubble distributor is not getting power. Okay, let me try breaking and replacing that. There we go. Now it's getting power. So you'll see this blue bubble that kind of starts to form. There's a lot of weird issues like that with power in space I've been noticing. It's really been acting up within this pack. But this bubble starts forming, and basically what this bubble is, anything within it is given oxygen. So I think I made it just big enough so that it's going to reach over to here, I think. But basically you'll notice it keeps expanding, and it'll eventually reach a maximum size after it runs for just a minute. It should be just about done. Okay, yeah, and it stops right here. So basically I can, if I want to, I can pull off my oxygen mask, and now I can breathe in this area. So even if I pull off my tanks, that's fine. I can still breathe within this area. And it goes off a little ways into space. There we go. Zero gravity is terrible. And if we, well, right in the door there. Maybe I'll set this to 2 meters. That might be better. Whoa. Well. Okay, and I died off somewhere in that direction. Man. That's the worst thing is when you die in space, like at a space station, then you fall through. What did it? Oh my gosh. Everything's breaking. Okay, there we go. Whenever you die in space, like you just fall through, and then, especially with this kind of a map, you just die again. Of course, generally, you're going to die anyway because you're going to hit the ground and go splat. The only exception would be if you get lucky and maybe hit water or something like that. So, oh man, I'm going to have to go back over there. And luckily we've got this hydrogen jetpack from Mechanism, because I had that lying around because I don't actually have anything set up just yet to get us up here. Because honestly, I didn't expect to die right there, if I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, it's not like I'm really dying here. Oh, but I got a loot bag from dying. So at least there's that, right? Alright, I'm going to have to go back and get my other golden bag. Because it went through to where I died, falling through the void. But, oh, what a pain. And everything's showing sealed. So, I don't know, it may have just bugged. Or maybe I was too close when I opened it or something like that. I may end up moving the bubble distributor back one so that it covers that whole area. But, yeah, I mean, right now we can breathe in this area anyway. So, if only it didn't act up like that. And you can actually see the bubble if you come outside of here. Right there. So, that's how that works. And then we also have these spin thrusters. Oh, no. There we go. These you can attach onto basically the edge of your ship, or the edge of your space station, and it'll cause your space station to actually spin. And I think I'm going to put them like right here. For example, if I put one here and we rotate it like that, but you can have up to 4 of these on your station. And you'll notice right now I'm standing completely still and it's rotating. So, and my bubble should be rotating as well along with it, which it is. I love the Galacticraft music. Yeah, so you can see I'm rotating right now. And it's actually going to keep speeding up too. That's another really neat thing about the spin thrusters, is they take a minute to speed up to, to reach maximum velocity. But eventually our space station's just going to kind of rotate in orbit. We have rotation. And you'll notice it's kind of moving away from me right now as it rotates. And the neat thing is it rotates around a center of gravity. So right now I think the center of gravity within this space station should be this middle room here. Right? But if I build my space station differently, it may rotate differently depending on where the center of gravity is registered for your space station. So right now you'll notice, I mean, we've got a pretty decent speed going. Not 100% sure if this is maximum speed or not. Not for sure, but we do have a rotation. So very, very nice. Very, very happy to see that. The spin thrusters, they do take meteoric iron, but if you recall, we've got meteoric iron automatically being generated, so it's really not an issue at all. So that's pretty much everything I want to do on the space station. I'm going to pop back to the overworld. I am going to fly out to where I lost my bag, because that's the bag that has like all my tools and stuff in it. So I do want that. But then after that we'll head to the moon and check out some of the work that's been done over there. And then we're going to actually get into the bulk of the episode, which is going to be exploration on the moon and stuff like that. So there we go. There's my gravestone. So anyways, on to the moon then. And actually all my oxygen compressors, I have those set up on the moon base right now. So this is our moon base thus far. It's not done, of course, but over here I have the oxygen sealers, back here oxygen storage modules, and then oxygen compressors here in the front. And so we can throw in our oxygen tanks. I am going to pull mine off and throw them into here. They should all be sealed. Okay. So those will start filling up, and then outside there's nothing right now. We will eventually build a buggy spot. Then back in here, these are a little bit more optimized farm setups. I mean, I could do more with the oxygen collectors, but I feel like I have enough over here, so I'm not too concerned about that. But basically we have wheat in there. There is little water pools. There's one in the very center and then one on the four corner, like center areas, I guess you would say. And then oxygen pipes and stuff are actually ran, like there's power line that runs along the top. There's also oxygen pipes that run on the top as well. Once my tanks are filled, we'll step outside. And then our Tesseract is actually underneath this teleporter. So that's where that is. And we also have a chunk loader that's under the floor. It's actually right underneath this block right here is our chunk loader. In this space I am going to add more to it, because what I'm thinking is each space base will be kind of like we have the cobble gen all within the space station, and we'll do a little bit more on the space station. I do want a decently sized space station. And then the moon will have something that it focuses on, I guess, for our base, and each space base will kind of have like a little focus like that basically creates resources and sends them back to our overworld. And then depending, I'm thinking Neptune, because I remember in the past Neptune was my favorite planet from Extra Planets, but we'll see as we explore. One of the planets I do intend to build a much larger base that we can kind of have our off-Earth home at. So another larger scale base. So we'll see as we go on which planet, but honestly, as of right now, I'm thinking Neptune. So, but this is the color scheme. I decided to go with the moon. I do quite like it, and I think it looks good from outside as well. So, I do like traveling on the moon because it's not zero gravity. So, it's a little bit easier to fly on. But that's what it looks like from the outside. I do have to do a bit of cleanup and stuff. I will say, if you hadn't already guessed, I do like having glass on the space bases a lot, because I like to be able to see outside. I mean, that's one of the biggest factors of having a space base, I feel like, is being able to look out the window and see, there's Earth, and you can see the sun and all that good stuff. I love that aspect. So I don't know if we're going to build up. We'll probably build out more so than up, but we'll see. Oh, we got meteors over here. meteors will periodically land, and you can actually get meteoric iron from these. And then you can run it through to get your raw meteoric iron. It looks like we have to run it through the PRC with liquid ethylene and oxygen. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if we're going to specifically need those, or if we're okay with just our current setup for meteoric iron. I don't know. Not for sure. But anyways, let's go ahead. We have a little bit of exploring to do because we need to find dungeons on the moon. We do need at least 2 because there's 2 different blueprints on the moon. One is the moon buggy, and the other is, of course, our Tier 2 rocket, which is a major thing. Generally, you can find the dungeons just flying around. There's a spider. Hello, spider. Because they'll basically be like little craters, is what we're looking for. Oh, here's a moon village. A lot of times, in my experience, a lot of times you'll find dungeons around moon villages a lot too. But these actually have moon villagers in them, usually. I hear one. There they are. They look like mega mines. They don't actually do anything. You can't talk to them or anything. But I am going to mark this location because I'm thinking we'll come back and capture some of these villagers to use to populate our space, like our space bases and stuff like that. We'll put those villagers in them so that we actually have people living in our base with us. And they don't require oxygen to live, so if something happens, like I'm always really weary about moving animals or anything like that, anything that needs oxygen. I'm always really weary about moving them into a space base, and that's just because I have a tendency of, like you saw just a second ago, where oxygen just suddenly stopped. And I don't exactly know why. I think it was because maybe I was opening that door or something like that. But I don't know. I don't want them to die, you know. Alright, that's another thing that we want, cheese ore. And I know we have a quest for this. I don't know. They want us to get a block of cheese, which takes cheese curds. I don't know if there's any way to double them. There's really not much use to double them, if I'm being perfectly honest, but that's fine. I'm actually not having any luck finding dungeons right now. Still flying around. Usually they are open to the sky. This looks like it might be one. Okay, finally found a dungeon. Actually took a little while. I mean, not too bad, but it still did take a little while. You are dead, sir. Alright, this probably isn't going to be too bad, I don't think, because of the fact that our sword one-shots these guys. I'm kind of keeping my eyes open for cheese ore, because we are going to need some of that, but there we go. There we go. We should be getting, yep, we're getting broken spawners. That's great. This is actually one of the first really good places. I can't do F7, that's fine. This is one of the first really good places to get broken spawners for making spawners and stuff. So, haha. And we got knockback on our sword now. Leave me alone. Okay. Cobwebs everywhere. This place, these dungeons are actually, they can be fairly dangerous, depending. But at our stage in the pack right now, there's really no danger to be had here. Chances are not, anyway. Alright. No interest in the torches. What do we got here? We have dimlets. I'm going to take the dimlets. The rest of the stuff, I'm just going to leave it, because I'm not really worried about that. And we've got Music Disc 13 and Safari Net buckets. I guess we'll take those as well. Okay, now there is a common issue, but it doesn't look like we've got it in this dungeon. Maybe not. Two-shotted him. Great. He is really creeping, though. As you can tell by the sounds that he makes. But there is an issue a lot of times with the Galacticraft dungeons, in my experience, where either the boss room won't spawn or the treasure chest room will not spawn. We didn't actually get that bug in here. It is possible that it's been fixed. I may not know about it, but I know that it is an issue that I've had a lot in the past. I remember, I think it was in Infotech that I had to like do, I think, 4 or 5 moon dungeons just to get my 2 schematics because a lot of them were bugged. But anyways, let's go ahead and open our treasure chest. You do have to have the key, by the way. So we have Chance Isohedron, Nuke Virus, Name Tag. I'll take this stuff, I guess. Whatever, Mana Steel. And we have a NASA Workbench schematic for the Moon Buggy. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, so that's one of our schematics. I am going to go ahead and just try to find the other one. Actually, you know what? Can I, Oh goodness, lava's coming. Figured we'd go ahead and stock up on moon bricks. Alright, is there any cheese ore around here? Because I am trying to find some of that. If at all possible. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're going to make our way back out of here. They are fairly short. So, there is that. But okay, I'm just vein mine digging to try to find some cheese ore right now. Because it's actually, I'm not finding a whole lot of it. You can see that it's fairly rare to find cheese ore. So, getting 9 pieces for that quest is actually takes a little bit. Like in this entire area, I found 1 cheese ore. It's mainly tin and copper that you're going to run across on the moon. And meteoric iron is only from the surface, so if you're looking for that, you have to actually find meteors for right now. Eventually, we'll have a better way to get that, or at least mining ways. But we have it automated, so it's really not an issue. Finally found a second one. That actually took a little while to find it. Fingers crossed that we get the schematic that we're looking for from this one. All right, boss time. One thing I will show you is that if you spawn the boss, if you step back through, he will despawn. So if you need to step out, it is going to cause him to go back up to full health. So, all right. I love it. It's honestly like such a terrifying sound that he makes. Like, it is absolutely terrifying. Alright, dungeon key, let's go. What did we get? We have another moon buggy schematic. Are you kidding me? That means I have to go out and find another one. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing to really use the schematics for. I am going to hold on to it, though, just because I'm a hoarder. So, I'm waiting for him to finish dying there. I'm assuming that the bosses here in Galacticraft are probably linked to the boss counter, where everything gets more difficult the more bosses that you kill. I can only assume that these are tied into that. Another moon buggy. Oh my gosh. This is like the worst luck ever. Right here. Okay. Okay, I found dungeon number 4. I mean, look at the map right now. I've explored so much moon. Just flying around. So dungeon number 4, hopefully, we'll get lucky here. I mean, on the plus side, though, I mean, we've got spawners. I really think that when they were creating this mod, they literally sat around in a room and decided what was going to be the creepiness sound that they can throw in here for these bosses. Because hands down, I mean, that's probably the creepiest boss sound ever. Okay, yeah, this is looking like one of the ones that does not actually have a treasure room, I think. Man, I was worried that I was going to, I don't know, maybe get the schematic that I was looking for. Right, what did we get? We got another moon buggy. Are you kidding me? Is this not like the worst luck in the world right now? This is terrible. Moon buggies for days. Okay. So many bosses today. Like, my difficulty is probably going to go through the roof if these are tied to difficulty. I'm having terrible luck. Another moon buggy! Oh my god! This is awful! Absolutely awful. Awful luck. I'm gonna look in the quest book. I don't know if maybe they don't come from the moon dungeons. I'm pretty sure they do. The evolved skeleton boss is the boss mob of the moon. It can only be found in the moon dungeon and the room before the one that holds the treasure chest. Now we have to get the NASA workbench schematic and the tier 2 rocket. Well, funny story. I can't get a schematic for the rocket. This is, I think, dungeon number 7. I'm just going to kind of gun through this one, honestly. There's no telling how difficult it's going to be once we're done with space. What do we got? Oh, moon buggy. Good. Oh my god, this is awful. Absolutely awful. I'm going to have to go back and get fill up my oxygen here in just a minute, because this is just taking so many dungeons. Enchanted book here with power 4, protection 4, and thorns 2 on it. So I'll take that for sure. Fingers crossed that we actually end up coming across this time. I mean, you'll notice that flight spiderwebs don't slow you down. So, I mean, that's a plus. Alright, boss time. Brr. Oh, man. Yeah, the bosses are getting stronger for sure. This one actually takes 3 hits now, which still isn't all that much, but the thing that worries me is it means everything else is going to get stronger. Which, what I'm wondering about is, what about whenever we get to the Chaos Dragon? Like, after we've killed a bunch of bosses. That's going to be interesting, to say the least. And I do actually want a spare key. I shouldn't have wasted that one that I got before. It was like an extra. But I didn't realize I was going to be wasting it. Oh, it looks like a moon buggy! Ha-ha! Awesome. Fingers crossed. Another moon buggy! Awesome. Awesome times. Okay, so we're headed for, what is it, Dungeon 10 will be the next one, I think? I don't even know at this point. I just keep doing dungeons and not getting what we're after. I'll tell you what, by the time we finish Galacticraft, things are just going to be bad. Alright, fingers crossed. Here we go. Ha-ha! Tier 2 rocket! About time. Like, I had even, like, tabbed out and, like, looked, Rockety. I had looked online, I was like, well, maybe it doesn't actually come from this. Like, maybe something's wrong. No, I just had probably the worst luck. Like, I don't know if the chances were altered for this pack. I don't know. From what I saw, I mean, I didn't see anybody else mentioning it. Like, it taking 1,000,000 years to get the schematic. So, I'm just hoping that we get lucky on the future schematics. Is kind of what I'm hoping at this point. But, okay, we're done. So, we got our Tier 2 rocket schematic. I'm going to fly back home, and we'll start getting ready to craft ourselves a moon buggy and a Tier 2 rocket. I will say, I think that some of the space stations, we may not actually have, like, hydroponic areas for it. Because we can actually transport oxygen. Oops. We'll go to add new schematic. We can actually transport oxygen without the need for, or we should be able to, without the need for it being on site, like transfer it with liquid or gas transfer with mechanism, but we'll see. Unlock schematic and the Tier 2 rocket. Okay. So now the fun starts. Let's go ahead and, do we want to start with the moon buggy? I think so. So for our moon buggy, do we want to add storage space to it? I'm going to say, oh, that takes buggy storage box. They're really not that expensive. Alright, we're going to need a bunch of heavy duty plates, then buggy wheels, which is just steel and leather, and the buggy seat, which is just steel and iron. I'm going to get like a stack of compressed steel, and then we'll get a little bit of iron. Buggy storage box, we'll go ahead and get 3 of those. And then our buggy wheels, we'll get, oh yeah, these don't stack. What a pain. There's that. And then the buggy seat. There's that. Okay. So now we can get our moon buggy. These are actually a lot of fun. We are going to have to make another fuel loader, though, now that I think about it. Which is fine. I didn't think about it. I could just shift-click. Alright, so there's our buggy with 54 storage space. And then we're going to need buggy fueling pads. It's blocks of iron and compressed steel. Let me order 3 blocks of iron. We've only got 5,000 blocks of iron at this point. And... oh, yeah, these have to be moved up. Alright, buggy fueling pad, and then a fuel loader. Let me see. And there's our fuel loader. And I think our first buggy we're going to set up on the moon. I do plan on having buggies probably on every planet. I mean, I don't know how much use they'll see since we can fly. I mean, they're not that useful. But I do think they're nice additions. And I will say that probably Neptune, we're actually going to have like little roads and stuff, I think. Because it'll be a lot larger scale of a space station. So I do plan on doing a bit more with that. I think our actual buggy setup, we're going to put it like right here, I think. And then we'll have our fuel loader right there. And where's my wrench? Go ahead and rotate that. Fuel needs to come in on this side. So I'm just going to put our... actually, I wonder if I could just put an ender tank like that. Yeah, okay. I can just put the ender tank right there. That works. We'll go ahead and just rotate that over. So that's got fuel in it now. And so we just need the power ran over. There is a heavy aluminum wire line, but try not to pull too much power from those because those actually don't transfer that much power. So if we can avoid... oh my gosh. You... okay, he didn't destroy anything useful. Looks like their explosions aren't that powerful, I guess. That's got power now, and then we can just put our moon buggy onto that. Paha! And it should get fueled pretty quickly. So, let's take a look. Yeah, see, it's getting fuel right now. Alright. I wish these things had, like, turrets on them. But now we can just drive this thing around. And it can actually climb up slopes. So... that is a thing. They're kind of nice if you don't have flight, but with flight, it's like, whatever. And then, of course, we can just bring it back over here and park it. And now it's fueling. So, okay. So we got ourselves a moon buggy. They're not the easiest things to park in like a nice, have them looking nice when you park them, but that's okay. That's alright. As long as they're touching the fuel pad, they'll get fueled. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I'm going to put that there for right now until I get more half glass. Actually, do I have some that I can order by chance? I do not. Okay. Man. I hate creepers so much. Alright. But anyways, we got that. So, that's awesome. Now for our Tier 2 rocket. Let's see. I know there's a few, like, special parts we're going to have to make. The Tier 2. Oh, that's the creative one. We want this one. We're going to need a nose cone. We're going to need the rocket fins, the Tier 1 rocket engine, and the Tier 1 booster. Tier 1 booster is going to require a filled fuel canister. They're not that bad. I am going to have to craft some fuel canisters, though. So... we've actually had to make them before, if I recall. So much easier to craft Galacticraft stuff at this point. It really is. Okay, the fuel canister. Let me order the stuff to get 2 of those. Empty canisters. There's 1, there's 2. I'm honestly getting so tired of this thing. Like, it's so irritating. Because it's just dumping stuff all over the place. Like, that right there is my enchanted book from when we were in the dungeons. Like, it's just throwing stuff wherever, and it doesn't even, like I have to dump this thing all the time. Drives me insane. So, well, right now I'm on the fence about maybe just switching entirely to AE because this system acts up so much with things like that. Like little odd and end things like that. It's just like, no, cannot handle it. Alright, I believe the only way that we're going to be able to fill this is... I don't think I can just go in and right-click. I don't think. Yes, I can. Okay, well that works. Alright, well that's what we'll do. So we've got our two filled fuel canisters, and that's pretty much everything that we need now at this point. So we'll get our Tier 1 boosters. There's those. I'm just going to leave these here. We'll grab our rocket fins, our nose cone, our engine, our booster, and then we're going to need 10 of these heavy-duty plate Tier 2s. We have 708 of them, so I think we're okay. There's that. And I think, yeah, I've got places for these spawners to go, so I'm going to throw a lot of this stuff back in that I don't need anymore. Oh yeah, we've got that cheese ore. Let me go ahead and smelt that stuff up real quick. We need 8 cheese curds, and then we need like a bucket of milk, if I recall correctly, to make that thing. Okay, so let's go craft that, and that way we can finish out that quest that we've got. And I believe the other one should already be done, so it should auto-complete. There's our block of cheese. Okay, so those 2 quests are done. Then they want us to make the Tier 2 rocket. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well before we turn in the quests. So let's go. I'm so happy that we finally got the Tier 2 schematic. That took absolutely forever. Space station. This is like the heart of our space advancement, you know. Okay, there is everything. And actually, do I want, just for the sake of it, do I want to, yeah. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot that doesn't keep its inventory. Okay, let me order like 3 chests. I didn't actually add storage to the Tier 1, which isn't really, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to use it. I can already tell you that, but we'll put it on there anyway. It's just chests. Alright, so there is our Tier 2 rocket. Okay, so we got that, and that does complete that quest. So there's 3 done so far. Dash, we're going to have to get, we're going to have to get a stack of dash ingots. It's not really a big issue, though. Dash is actually really easy to find. Now, before we go to Mars, there's one other thing that we're going to want, and that is going to be thermal padding. This stuff right here. So we're going to need a bunch of this thermal cloth, which takes just a bunch of wool and redstone. So let me order, I don't know, I'm going to order 2 stacks to start with, and we'll see what we get with that. And then I'll get like a stack of redstone. That'll be fine. I'm just going to go ahead and grab all that. We'll get thermal padding leggings, helm, boots, and chest. Okay, and I don't think thermal cloth is... Oh, the Tier 2 padding. Okay. Tier 3, Tier 4. So basically the reason that we're going to have to wear this stuff is for cold places, cold planets and stuff like that. I believe the Tier 2... Okay, Venus and Mercury during the day and night. Okay, so we've got that stuff. What we'll do is we'll throw it on right here. And sometimes you can actually see it sticking out of your armor, but it looks like it's well implemented on this armor. Okay, so I think we're ready to launch now. Let's go ahead and put our rocket out here. And it should be fueling up. It is. Alright, so we're at 80% fuel, full. I'm going to go ahead and launch. We don't have to be at 100%, honestly. But it went ahead and filled it up, so. Alright, so we are headed to Mars. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. And this is our first time launching from our space station, which is kind of exciting, I think. I do quite like launching from here. And honestly, after this, I didn't bring portals with me. I decided we're just going to wait. I mean, fuel's not really an issue. I've got a fuel loader set up and stuff. So I'm going to wait to do the mechanism portals till I actually build the base this time. Because last time I just set it up randomly, you know, on the moon. And then I ended up having to move it. It's just a little bit easier on me this way. Alright, here we go. Pow-pow! And we get to land in balloons on this one, which is kind of exciting. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our stuff. We've got a little bit of fuel in the system here. I just realized I will have to order a new fuel loader because I forgot to bring that with me. But that's not really an issue to get back because I don't think there's... Is there anything that can send me back to spawn? I totally forgot about that. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind that can send me back to spawn. There's a couple ways that I could do it. I could either suicide, put all my stuff into the ender pouch and then suicide. Or I could also just order stuff to make a new fuel loader and an ender tank because it's all plugged up to that ender tank line. That's okay though. It's not a big issue. For some reason, part of me thought, okay, I brought my spawner with me. Or not my spawner, my teleport. And then the other half of me was like, oh, okay, well, we'll just fly back home, you know. Alright, so I figure we'll go ahead and look for a dungeon while we're here on camera. And then next episode, because I'll do a bit of building on Mars and get that stuff sorted. Then I figure next episode we'll get our tier 3 rocket. And then we get to go to like the asteroid belts and stuff. And another planet, but I can't remember what it is. By the way, these eggs, if you didn't know, you can actually shift right click them and you get this little alien and you can actually name him. So we're going to call him Ted. And he's got an inventory. Oops. You can give him stuff. I can't remember what all you can give him. He eats emeralds. You can tell him to sit or follow and different things. You can actually feed them and they'll kill things and all that. But anyways, come on, little guy. I tend to just golden lasso them and take them back is my preference as far as using them because honestly, I mean, I move too fast to actually make use of pets. Honestly. Okay, here's a dungeon already. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Actually, I guess would you quit moving? What do I need to make a portal from mechanism? Oh, well, I don't have any place to... I don't have anything set up to actually access it, so I guess it's not that useful. So. Alright. I do love the sounds in these dungeons, by the way. Mars, I think... Mars is better overall of a planet. I think it's a lot more fun. There's a lot more... Not really a lot more to do. It's really like, you know, the moon had the alien villages and the dungeons, and this place has dungeons and like little tameable aliens, so really it is about the same, but I just like Mars a lot more. I think it's a better planet. It's a lot more fun to me. Ooh, ahoo, haha. There's usually these places beneath them, in my experience. There's carnivorous vines, which actually like pull you up and poison you and damage you. These things, if you step in them, that's that bacterial sludge, which we actually have drums like filled with this stuff. But it spawns those little aliens. Here's Dash. As you can tell, it's very, very common to find like large amounts of it. I didn't really want that copper ore, but thanks. We are going to need a fair amount of this. That's why I figured we go ahead and hop down here and snag up a bit of this stuff. Oh wow, Dash with coal in the QED gets you 3 Dash ingots. I think that's what we're going to do is triple it with coal. Because coal's not really an issue at all, to say the least. Alright, I'm actually not worried about these spawners. I don't know why I'm breaking them. It's not like it's an issue. The mobs don't bother me a bit. Oh, this is where... Okay, this is where I was, so I need to be going in the other direction. But I have plenty of spawners to make, you know, plenty of broken spawners to make spawners with, so... I don't know why I'm concerning myself with these. Alright, so boss time. We get the evolved creeper boss. And this one, you actually have to knock TNT back. So, I mean, there's really no, like, one or two shotting this boss. He is very, very easy, though. And those little eggs down there, if he blows them up, it spawns little creepers. I can actually show you. Yeah, there you go. There's that little creeper right here. I mean, it's not really a concern for us. Because honestly, with the armor that we have, it takes a whole lot of effort to kill us. There we go. He wasn't shooting his TNT for some reason. Come on. Alright. You die. You die. Come on. He's like, what's going on here? There we go. God, the sounds in Galactoraptor are just excellent. So creeping. Alright, but our difficulty probably went up just there. Right there. Alright, what did we get? We got a automatic cargo rocket. Okay, that's not actually the rocket that we're looking for. It's like pretty much like the moon buggy, you know. It may be something that I put to use, though, later on. Just because it'd be a bit of fun to have a rocket that you can send back and forth, kind of a thing, but... Alright, let's go... Let's head on out of here. Honestly, I've got enough dash to finish out that quest. So I think what we're going to do is I'll come back here later on with a mechanism teleporter and come back with the intention of setting up a base, right? But I'm gonna stop exploring right now because I've got to get a fuel loader crafted. That's going to take a minute, and I don't want to run out of oxygen, honestly. It's kind of worrisome, I guess. Not letting me shift click it in, though. It could be because of the tanks. Okay, so there's a fuel loader. Luckily, I've got access to all this stuff. I don't know why I derped so bad right there, but I did. And then I really just need power. So I've got these capacitors. Yeah, I'm just going to grab one of these. Okay, we are no longer stranded. Here we go, it's filling that up. But at least I'll have one of these with me for here on out. So, alright, I guess we're going to go ahead and just head on back to the overworld now. And we'll get that dash taken care of. And then I'll come back with mechanism stuff and set up a little bit more of a permanent base. Okay, I'm just kind of waiting for this. I'm going to come in behind it because I do need the stuff from my parachest, honestly. I don't think I can get it while it's falling. No, I can't. Alright. Come on, parachest. Alright. I'll go ahead and break this. Alright, let's get ourselves a stack of coal. And we're going to start this dash getting it processed, I think. Getting like really bad FPS all of a sudden. I don't know why. Alright, so that's going. It's actually processing fairly quickly, honestly. I will take it. Let's go ahead. I want to get some teleportation stuff in place. First up, we have the teleporter and the teleporter frame. We're going to need more of these, like a couple crafts of them. I don't know... Okay, our system does not know how to make refined obsidian. Refined obsidian dust with osmium. Oh, wait, we're going to need the osmium compressor. Can we even make the osmium compressor at this point? Printed silicon, elite control circuit, steel casing, advanced, any kind of gas tank, actually, I think. Okay, yeah, we can. Alright, now for the control circuits, we're going to need reinforced alloy and then enriched alloy for that. So let me get, 8 enriched alloy and then 8 reinforced alloy. So let's go ahead and upgrade these, since we can do that. So there's 4 of those, and then I'm just waiting on... Oh, there we go. That works. Haha. Alright, so there is that. I know we are getting fairly close to wrapping up point, but I just want to wrap up a couple things here. So there's our osmium compressor, and then for the teleportation stuff, we're going to need the refined obsidian ingots and then the glowstone ingots. We're going to need like 16 of these for right now. So let me go ahead and I think for right now I'm just going to have the osmium compressor be manual for the time being, and then we'll probably change it later on. So we'll set this up, right here's fine. Throw that and that in there, get that running. Making that. And then for the teleporter itself, we're going to need these teleportation cores. We're going to need ender diamonds, glowstone ingots, atomic alloys. That's basically, we've actually taught our system how to make those. So I'm going to order, let's see, we're going to need 4 of those. And then the energized glowstone, that's just glowing silicon compound. We're just going to need 2 of those. And that is... Okay, that's a visual bug. I was about to say, that's no way. No way I've been that many. And then glowstone ingots. Do we have these? We have 7 of them. Okay, that'll be good for right now. Alright, let me get this compound cooking up real quick. I know this episode's probably going to be coming out a little bit later than intended, but this has taken a very long time to record, so I do apologize. Mainly because the moon dungeons took forever. Took absolutely forever. Alright, so that dash quest should be done now. It is. Let's go ahead and get the rewards for these. There's a reward bag. They want us to make a tier 3 rocket. We've already killed the 3-headed creeper. Alright, so we have 1 basic bag with a flux-infused hammer. Then we've got 2 good bags. We got an iron paxel, purple crystal sapling, blue skyroot, and green skyroot. Eh. And then a elite bin. Okay. Nothing terribly useful from all that. I'm going to have to teach my system how to use these dash ingots for making the next thing here. For making compressed dash. But anyways, we've got our atomic alloys now. We're going to need teleportation cores. There's 2 of them, and actually I'm going to want a portable teleporter as well. So we are going to want a 3rd one. Because I realized earlier, I mean, we're at the point now I can get the portable teleporter, and that will make our lives so much easier. So I won't end up in that situation that I was just in, where we get kind of stranded on the planet and I have to, you know, do all the fuel loader and stuff like that. So that'll let us bypass that whole thing. There is our portable teleporter. And then our teleporter block itself. So 4 more control circuits. The teleporter frames. Let me go see if that refined obsidian ingot is done. And I'm going to go put this back down so that our portable teleporter will get charged. Yeah, it's like right through here, like the FPS just bombs. If anything, it should be better. I removed like the entire cobble works. Alright, so we got 15 refined obsidian. I'm actually going to need a bit more osmium, in fact, to finish out that last one. Because I forgot it's not 1 for 1. It's actually like a little bit less, or a little bit more, so there we go. There's teleporter frames, teleporter, and I should be able to get 1 last teleporter. There we go. So now I've got my teleporters. That's the first time we've actually crafted teleporters. That's why I wanted to do that on camera. We're going to go ahead and shift right click our portable teleporter. And so now what I can do is I can right click, and you can see I can teleport myself to the moon space station. We'll go ahead and teleport to the space station. Okay, it brings us to the overworld one, but that's fine. I mean, then we can just teleport out. Basically, it's just something I'd like to have to keep us from getting stranded more than anything. And let's go ahead and add our automatic cargo schematic. There we go, our cargo rocket. This one you can't actually travel in. It's just for cargo. So, but I'm going to go ahead and set that back up because I'm going to have to fuel it back up for the next launch to Mars. But the next one I'll set up the teleporter and all will be good. And then I guess we'll go ahead and set up a teleporter here really, really quickly. Like that. And then we're going to call it, we're going to set it to frequency and say Mars. There we go. So now once we get to Mars, I can link it up and we'll be all set to teleport. So anyways, with that said, I am going to end out this episode here. Gosh, this lag. It's ridiculous. I'll go to the moon. There's no lag on the moon. But I am going to end this episode out here because I know it's wrapping up point. Next episode, when we come back, hopefully I'll have Mars kind of situated. And I may go ahead and try to find the schematic next episode. So then, after that, of course, we will go to the Tier 3 things. Tier 3 places. There is a couple things related to Galacticraft we'll probably cover next episode. But we'll probably cover like the cryogenic chamber and then also the thermal thing for Mars. Because you do have to have a thermal setup to control internal temperatures and stuff like that. So we'll probably cover that stuff next episode. And then we'll probably set off for the Tier 3 areas. So get our Tier 3 rocket and all that good stuff. Because I don't think there's much else in Mars that I want to cover. So we'll probably go to the Tier 3 locations next episode. And then we'll probably take a short break from Galacticraft for probably the back half of the episode or something. And I would like to... I believe it's... No, it's not Epsilon. It's Zeta? No? Eta? No? Theta? Yeah. I would like to do some of these quests right here. You know, involving some of the bosses from the Aether and the Erebus. So we may check those out a little bit next episode as well. Assuming we have time. So that's the current plan. Anyways. And I want to say there's something else that Dash makes. Like the Dash ingot itself. Atmospheric valves. Oh, we can get the Terraformer. Okay, the Advanced Inscriber from AE2 stuff needs that. Compressed Dash. Before too long, though, because kind of what we're waiting for right now, before we can start AE2, is carbon. That's like the big thing. Which that's not until Venus. So, we're still a little ways off from that. Actually, I want to say, is Venus a Tier 3? By chance? Yes, Venus is a Tier 3. Okay, so we'll be getting carbon before too long. And then we'll be, next episode, we'll get carbon. So we'll be able to actually start AE2 after that, if we want to. So, that may be a thing. We may get to carbon and then maybe take a short break from Galacticraft and move into a little bit of AE2. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have a feeling next episode's going to open up quite a bit for us. So next episode, we'll plan on going to the asteroid belt and to Venus then. So I believe that's the only Tier 4 Mercury. Or I'm sorry, Tier 3 is just the asteroids and Venus, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then after that, we'll get to go to Mercury and Ceres and Jupiter. And then it's Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Eris. But anyways, like I said, with that, I am going to end out this episode here. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And I will say that I'm not for sure just yet what I'm going to do the Mars base as far as design. But I will say not all of them are going to be flat. We're going to do some, you know, taller buildings and, you know, different shapes and stuff like that. So the moon base, I just felt like it looked, the spot where we were building was perfect for like a flat type design, I think. So but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.